The story is entitled, "We Summoned a Demon from a Different Realm, and It Won't Rest Until It Becomes the Sole Ruler." Written by Lone Echoes. To whoever reads this, my name is Adam Jones, and this is my confession. I have been a member of the Followers of Bregan for 4 years. I am writing this message from one of their secluded sites in Kentucky. For hundreds of years, the Followers of Bregan have tried summoning demonic beings through various rituals. Yesterday, they finally succeeded. This letter contains my story. We meddled with something beyond our comprehension, and now we pay the price. Please tell my sister, Charlotte Jones, that I am sorry. Tell her that if she ever gets lonely, she should walk over to our favorite spot by the bench, and I'll be there watching over her, next to Mom. Fuck, I don't know where to start. Life was good when it was just me, Charlotte, and Mom, until she passed away. People in court decided that our piece of shit father was rational enough to look after us, so we were transported to Florida, where life as we knew it ended. I first heard of the Followers of Bregan via an article. One of its members had gone crazy and stabbed herself 12 times, the motive being self-sacrifice. Now, I wasn't thinking about the cult back then. I was thinking about how someone could be capable of such horrible deeds. The insanity of her behavior fascinated me, and this newfound fascination led me to a forum concerning satanic cults around the globe. The various posts regarding the crazy cultist ignited a spark deep within me. For the first time since my mother passed away, I felt like I belonged somewhere. It wasn't Satanism, but the hatred towards the world these people had in common. It made me believe that those destructive feelings I had were justified. I got the invitation about a year ago. I stumbled upon a chat room and spent hours conversing with strangers. Mostly these forums consisted of teenagers, but there were also the individuals with actual ties to cults. You could feel a shift in the conversation as soon as someone like that entered the chat room. I don't know how they got my address, but I got an envelope in the mail. Inside this envelope, I found a blank postcard. It was plain white, apart from a single phrase. "May the blood of the loyal reveal a path toward Bregan." I still remember how I didn't hesitate to cut my hand with a pair of scissors. The scarlet drops touched the postcard and revealed a set of coordinates. That night, I grabbed my belongings and left the shithole I was supposed to call home. Wherever these coordinates led, it could not be worse than living with a drunk. I have contributed to a lot of rituals in the past years. A lot of these rituals contain some form of sacrifice. The Followers of Bregan's sole purpose is to bring Bregan into our world. You see, the cult's main philosophy proclaims that realms similar to ours exist. Throughout history, these worlds interacted with ours. Until yesterday, this only happened on their terms, not ours, since we lack the knowledge to create a passage. And for centuries, people worldwide have attempted to explore ways of opening one. Bregan is a being of deception. It manipulates people and turns them into his subordinates, which go on a rampage until nothing of the world it occupies remains. Throughout its existence, it has destroyed numerous realms. It caves to expand its network of corruption until it becomes the sole ruler. Then it will perish, for it can no longer nourish. Its minions will revolt and slaughter it. At this point, life in every possible realm will cease to exist, an apocalypse fueled by bloodshed and hatred. Whether I believe this was of no concern to me. The members of the cult understood the hardship I went through, and most importantly, I didn't get judged for it. They embraced me like one of their own, and that alone was a reason for me to denounce everything I had once known. Everyone knew it was happening, yet no one talked about it. People had grown superstitious. They believed that talking about an upcoming ritual would drastically lower our chances of success. So especially for this one, we kept as quiet as graves. I remember the tense feeling which came over me a couple of hours before the start. Everything I had done these past couple of years had led up to this moment. I had lived a bitter life amongst people eager to watch the world burn. But in all honesty, I was afraid of what would come after. Luckily, there wasn't much room for contemplation on these feelings. The chimes of the settlement bells announced the start of the ritual. The humming gradually raised in volume as more members gathered around the sacrificial. Sometimes, these preludes lasted for hours, depending on the type of ritual and its importance. Priest Fox entered the circle and raised his hand, silencing the cultists. After several minutes, he spoke.
It is time. For years, our brothers and sisters have attempted to bring forth beings from different planes. And today, my disciples, we must succeed.
Priest Vox opened a book I had never seen before. From what I could observe, it had ancient engravings.
Fear not, my children. You were chosen. And those of you which dissent shall rise again as the most powerful beings to walk this planet. Together, you will tear a hole between our reality and the reality in which it currently resides. All I ask of you is to accept his gift.
The crowd around me cheered as loud as they could. A couple of seconds in, however, I could hear the valiant shouts warp and distort into screams of anguish. It took me a while to notice, but some members had fallen to the floor. Blood seeped through every orifice of their body. Their limbs twisted in the most horrifying way possible, and the sound of snapping bones pierced through the distressed crowd. I ran as fast as I could while swerving the mutilated bodies, avoiding the grasps of those calling for my aid. I had lived up to this moment for years, but I couldn't go through with it. The twisted bodies of my fallen brothers shifted my mind towards a particular moment in my life. I remember taking the bus home from school and Charlotte getting on along the way. I remembered the sound of her innocent voice and the scream she uttered once she found Mom on the cold stone floor. I am sorry, Charlotte. I am so sorry for leaving you with Dad. And I am so sorry for not taking care of you after Mom did what she did. I projected my hatred toward the world instead of seeking help. And now, people will pay the price of my selflessness. The members that had fallen to the floor turned into what I assumed to be Bragan's minions. They feed on other cultists, on each other, and as they devour, the ground beneath the sacrificial trembles and cracks. It won't be long now until it is big enough for him to pass through. And if he does, all hope in humanity is lost. My name is Adam Jones, and this is my confession. We summoned a demon from a different realm, and it won't rest until it becomes the sole ruler.